Hey everyone, it is Brian Kaz here. Parts here. In fact, there's two separate kind of software tools. One we've kind of shown off in the past, you may have seen, but the second one will be new to you. And the first part show off right here. We have a special survey that basically helps kind of grow your business essentially. But then after that, we have a brand new tool that helps you see existing business models and lets you tweak and play around to see, how much profit you can make. But for this first tool right here, all that you basically do is you basically answer a bunch of questions. So if you have a business, you'd say yes. If you don't, you say no. So let's just pretend that we're right now. Let's pretend that we're like, I don't know, maybe an offline business. Or no, let's say we're an online business, and let's say we sell, I don't know, something for like $1,000 or so. So let's just basically answer this as though we're this make-believe business right here. So I'll say, yes, we have a business. Do you primarily sell online or offline? Let's say we sell mostly online. Do you sell to businesses or to consumers? Let's say we sell some service to consumers in this case. Or no, let's say businesses in this case. Do you have a website? We'll say yes. Do you feel we're getting enough leads or rankings? Most people typically say no. They don't feel like they're getting enough, so we'll say that. How much traffic do you get? Let's say, in this case, let's say that we only get maybe 500 hits a month for this made-up business right here. What is your average conversion rate? Let's say maybe only, let's say 2% turn into actual sales. What is the price most commonly sold product? Let's say we sell something, I don't know, for $500. We'll say that. What's the highest price point? Let's say we sell the highest price point. Let's say we sell for $1,000. How many upsells do you have? Let's say most guys will probably have 0, which obviously you want more, but let's just say 0. So as far as upsells, we'll say, if we had an upsell, let's say the average buyer in this case, let's say it's just worth, the 500 right there. How many different front-end offers do you have? Let's say 2 to 3. Do you have an email list? Most guys, so most businesses, if they have a list, they usually only have it for their clients. So let's pretend like we're like the average Joe. Let's say we have a blog, but we don't post on it. How many times we run a special offer? Let's say once. And yeah, so you basically go through all these questions right here, and based upon your answers, it gives you some specific ways that you can make more, essentially, as well as tips and tricks and stuff, and actual advice for you, as well as suggestions on what you can do to improve your business. So right here, it says, hey, including upsells and all that, it says we're making around $5,000 a month. And it says that if we include some upsells, which we don't have, it thinks that we can make an additional $5,000 a month on top of that. And if we increase conversions and all that, in this case, if we do a very good job here in getting more traffic and conversions, it basically estimates that this business right here that is doing okay could possibly be worth up to $2,500 on a larger scale right there. And if we just get 1,000 more hits a month, it estimates that we'd get $20,000 more. And it also estimates that if we target the higher end prospects more than just the lower end ones, that we're leaving about $10,000 on the table simply by getting a couple more of the high end sales each week instead of trying to focus on the smaller ones. And then it talks about, like, here it says, hey, we had a problem where we said we talked to businesses, but we want more leads, so it has some suggestions on what we can do right there. here, since we basically said that we weren't happy with the rankings, it gives examples of how we can improve that and some suggestions on what we can do as well. Then it talks about you know, how we could find prospects out there. It talks about some upsell tips. It says, hey, you know, we recommend you 2 to 3, since we said we have 0, I think, is what we said. And just give some tips throughout the whole thing right here based upon the answers that you gave and suggestions along the whole way. So that's pretty cool right there. And I'll just, and as a side note too, I'll just show you real quick. I'll show you what it looks like in some other examples. I'm just going to switch my screens real quick. So here's another example of a survey I answered a little differently right here, where I said I had an existing business. If I said I didn't have a business, it gives a different kind of response right here. It can make some suggestions for you on what you can do to start, or stuff that you can do you know, right there. So based on the answers that you give, it gives different kind of info too. But on that, I'm just going to pause it again. We'll go back to the first one. If you're brand new and not logged in, on the results of the survey, it will show basically an opt-in form like this to set up a free account. So after you answer the survey, it will prompt you to basically make a free account. And again, there's no credit card. There's nothing that you can buy even here. This is all, you know, this part is all free right here. And if you create a free account, we have an additional tool, which is the second one that I'll show off to you, which is basically kind of like a business mind map tool, which is pretty cool. And you can get access to that if you just fill out the info right here. And again, I'll get you the links to both of these in just a bit after I show off the actual demo. I'll give you the links so you can get it all for free. I just want to say once you go through the first time, you'll be prompted to basically set up your free account right here, and then you'll get access to the second software, which I'm going to pause the screen now as I show off that. So I might have to re-log in right here. So, all right. So after you create an account, it will save the results of your survey. So anytime you log back in, you can see, and here's like a pretend business that we made up some you know, survey answers for that you can see right here. So it saves it all for us. We can go back and take the survey again. We can also, you know, view what it was right there, and we can also use the new tool, which is the mind map one. So we just click right here, and you'll see a walkthrough on it right here. So obviously the first time through, I mean, you should do pretty well just watching me right here live. But if you need like a refresher and you don't want to watch the entire, you know, replay of this, you can just watch this 13-minute clip right here, which goes through everything as well right there. But there's a few things to note right here. So we can basically create business models right here that you can play around with. And you can create your own ones from scratch, or you can see existing ones that we have right here. So it will give an example, you know, of like, you know, if you're just an affiliate and you want to build, you know, a funnel, you have a low-priced front-end offer, a medium-priced one. If you're selling info products or want to, it gives examples of those right there. If you're selling software, whether it's medium or high-priced, it has that there. Or if you want to sell coaching, it has example business models of that, which I'll get to in just a few moments' time. You can also, any new one you make will show up, like I just made a demo one right here. But let's show off if we want to make a new one. So we'll call this one yet another new one for this clever name. Or in fact, let's do, just to make this fun, how about if you're on the call, maybe mention like a couple niches or products or stuff that you're in now, and we'll try to make a business model based upon that. I think that might be a bit more fun, actually. So just mention that. There's a lot of you on this call, so obviously we can only pick like, you know, one or two. All right, we have video creation, web development, silk wedding flowers, hair loss, skincare, online education, drone and robots. There's so many, personal development, shoe sales, accounting, reverse diabetes. Okay, real estate, sign language. Okay, Amazon marketing, hotel booking. All right, let's do dolphin trainer. I like that. So like how to be a dolphin trainer? That's funny. All right, lots of internet marketing ones. All right, we see allergies, antique marketing. All right, affiliate marketing. All right, let's do, okay, let's do the first one. Let's say an info course on, let's take the Amazon one. Now this can work for essentially anything. So let's say you have a guide on how to sell on Amazon. Okay, and I'll show off a couple other examples in a bit, including like I have an example in there for like a product for a Siberian husky. You know, this applies to basically everything. But let's say in this case, let's say the mind map is Amazon selling, and let's say your front-end product in this case, we'll say Amazon ebook. So let's say you sell an ebook on how to sell on Amazon. Let's say you charge $7. So this is like a low-end model. So you're selling cheap, on the front end, and because you're selling so cheap, your front end conversion is higher than if you're selling it for a higher price. So let's say in this case, we get 5% of the traffic to buy the $7 offer because it's such a cheap offer. That's a decent range to shoot for. So basically, add in the info right there. And then all we have to do is click Add Front End, and we see that it adds up right here. It has the numbers right there. And then, as you see right here, it says OTO name. That stands for one-time offer, or basically known as like an upsell. If we want to add an upsell, we can. So let's say we have, let's say the front-end book is a cheat book on how to sell on Amazon, and let's say the OTO are a handful of templates. Okay, so we give them templates so they can let's say copy some stuff off of, like fill in the blank, anything like that. And let's say we charge $27, and let's say we give them a pack of 25. Okay. And the conversion rate on that, now the number is based upon the front end, so it's the percent is based upon the 5%. So if we say 20% take us up on this, that would be 20% of the 5%. Just so you know like how the math works. If you make it like too high or too small, obviously your profits won't be as realistic. But let's say in this case, let's say we get 20% isn't, so let's say that's I'd say 15 to 20%, a decent range right there. In fact, we can just say let's take the lower and let's say 15%, and that's not the best OTO. Let's say 15% take us up on that. We click Add, and we see right there that it adds no OTO. Then we can add additional OTOs, or we can add downsells to the OTOs. So right here, we'll have this be a downsell for the templates. So template, and say, if they don't buy the 25, maybe we'll sell them a pack of 15, and we'll sell it for $17 instead of the 27. So a pretty good deal right there. And let's say, and this is again based upon the front end conversion. So let's say, you know, if they turn down that offer, let's say we get an additional, let's say, you know, 5% that take us up on this right here. And again, I'm going kind of on the low end. We can play around with the numbers later. That's all fine. I'll click Add Downsell, and we see up here it adds the downsell right there. And we can add, let's add another OTTO. Let's say after the templates, let's say it's a guide on top selling products. So it's maybe a guide that lists off like you know, what the top selling products are and where you can find them and drop ship them and all that. And let's say we charge $67 for that, and let's say the conversion rate of that, let's say because it's a higher dollar amount, let's say we only get you know, let's say maybe 5% of the front end, and let's add a downsell on that too. And let's say, or actually, let's say here, let's actually edit that. And if we want to, and this is great that I actually did this. If you want to basically change anything, you just click right there, and you'll have a pop-up right here. In this case, I'll say we'll call this a video on the top selling products. Okay. But for the downsell, we'll say, hey, instead of a video, let's just do, you know, the written copy of it. So, written copy of it. And let's charge, in this case, let's say, let's do it for, if we charge 67 right there, let's say for this we charge, I don't know, maybe 37. And let's say, in this case, because that's a pretty good deal right there, we'll say, you know, if the 5% turn on there, let's say only maybe 3%, you know, say sure on that, and even though I think that's kind of low because this is a really good deal right there. We'll add in that. And then let's do one final OTO right there. So for the final one, we'll say, let's shoot high. Let's say this will be, you know, done for you listing. So this is one where we maybe create a listing for them, help set them up with some products and all that. And let's say this price point, we'll say it's $297. We'll shoot high. Now, obviously, with that, the conversion will be, you know, less because it's a higher price point. So, and again, this is all based upon conversions of the front end. So in this case, let's say that, you know, it gets less than 1%. Let's say we get only a third of 1%. Okay, so pretty low right there. And we'll add that OTO in. And in this case, we'll do everything for them. And let's maybe do one other downsell for that. And instead of just a done for you, we'll say DFY, but you know, just products and templates. So they'll have to maybe upload it themselves and all that. And maybe instead of $297, we can do that for $97. And let's say that, you know, only you know, 1/10 of 1% take us up on that right there, based upon the 5% that go through. So again, very low amounts right there. But again, we're just playing with numbers right now. And again, I know that is a really low amount right there. But again, we're just trying to shoot for you know, not make it too high or exaggerated or anything like that. We click add downsell, and we see a nice mind map right there listing out basically our business model. Now, there's a few things missing. One is the back end. So we click here, we click on back end, and this is the back end value. So if there's a guy that buys a $7 product, you know, you have to ask, okay, what is the back end value, you know, of that right there? Well, if it's just $7, there's some leads that might not buy anything. There's some leads that might buy a bunch of stuff. But you can come up with a number of what you think the average back-end value is worth. So usually, the higher the front-end price is, the more back-end value that lead's worth, because they're likely to buy more and higher price points stuff. But for a $7 book, let's just say that the back-end value is only, let's say, $2 a lead over the course of time. So if you email those leads over time, each of those $7 leads, let's say, is only worth $2 right there on top of what they bought right here from day one. We'll just add that in there. And then the last thing missing, right now it says our profit is 0 because there's no traffic. The last thing we do right here, we click on where it says start, and we can play around with the amount of clicks, the cost per click, and all that. So let's say in this case, if we want to send 10,000 clicks there, what would that look like? So in this case, we'll say the cost per click is 0, but because let's say we're getting those clicks for free, we'll just click done right there, and this is what the business model would look like. In this case, we have a profit of $9,718. So not too bad there. Now let's say, hey, let's say we're paying for these clicks, and it's costing us 50 cents a click. What would that look like? In this case, we have a profit of about 4.7 grand. And what you can do, what's really neat here, you can play around with the numbers. So if you see that, hey, that's not as much profit as I thought, or hey, my click cost I think would be higher, so I don't think I can make a profit off that. What can you do to make more? Well, you can play around with the model more and say, hey, what would happen if maybe I increased the conversion rate on this OTO right here? Let's say if I get 1 out of 5 buying this offer, what would happen then? So you change that, and boom, our profit goes up a bit less than $1,000, and that's again at a click cost of 50 cents a click. Or it's hey, what if I do a really good job on this done for you listing, and let's say instead of charging $297, I'm able to charge $497 because you're playing around with the price points and all that. What would that look like? And that just, again, you just can play around, again, with all that right there, and you can change up, again, everything right there. I see that's a minor thing I might have to fix right there. I don't think it changed the actual number right there, but we'll get that fixed shortly today. I'm not sure if maybe it just logged me out or what, or whatnot. But, yeah, so you can change around the price points and all that. I see that might be a little bug right there on the OTO. I changed the price point. That didn't change, but we'll have that fixed within the hour right there, so don't worry too much about that. But if you change it, we'll just change that back right now. But you can play around with the conversion rates, and let's say, hey, you go from 0.33 to maybe 0.4%. That should change around all that right there. So again, we just have to update that. Looks like those two right there didn't change, but we'll make sure that's all fixed right there. But yeah, you can play around with that and see what's what and kind of go from there. But again, a very cool way to kind of get essentially like an overview of what's what, and play around with your mind maps and models and all that. The other thing that you can do too is keep in mind, like, you don't have to have all the models look like this right here. Like, you can have a front end that's free. So you could say in this case, you're giving a book away for free. In that case, your conversion rate would be much higher. Like, let's say 30 or 40 or 50% because it's a free offer essentially. But then your conversion rates on the OTOs would probably be a lot less because it's a free offer. Those leads would be worth less. But you could have it be like a free front end right here, and then an OTO for $7 right here. You go through all that. And to show off some of the stuff right here, I'll show you. So we also have some existing models right here that you can look at. So let's say you sell coaching. You can click on the coaching offer right here. And in this case, you'll see a model based upon that. So in this case, we say that the cost per click is 0, so you can change that based upon what you feel that cost is essentially worth. So like if you think it's worth more, or what you feel you can get the cost per click for. So that's all completely up to you right there. In this case, here, let's just actually, in this case right here, let's say we want to change the cost per click and say, hey, let's change it to $1 a click. Let's say it costs us $1 a click right there, which is definitely on the high side. But we do that, and it changes the profit from about 52,000 down to 42,000 right there. But we can kind of see in this case, we give a front end away for free, which is basically a free webinar or video or blog post. And then from there, we have basically an OTO. In this case, it's a free consultation. And then from there, we have the actual offers into the coaching, so you can kind of see what that looks like. And you can kind of play around with that. And of course, you can add additional OTOs or downsells. You can change any of these things around. That's completely up to you. Let me just change that back to what we had it at originally. And you can also, let's do maybe an info product. Let's do maybe a low-priced one. We'll just click on that. In this case, we have an example here of a book on how to teach your husky to talk. So in this case, we say, hey, we sell it at $7 and we have 7% conversion rate. And then as an OTO, we have a book on how to train your husky not to run, because they're notorious runners. And then we can have no OTO on how to quickly potty train your husky. And then we can have a downsell of a written version of the video. Then we can have an OTO where they can become a member of the Husky Training Facebook group and all sorts of stuff like that. And of course, we give the back-end value, and that's the profit right there of 15 grand if the cost per click was 0. Now, if we said it was $1 a click, that would knock that down to a profit of about 5 grand right there. So again, you can play around with the models right there and kind of see again what's what right there. So yeah, that's a pretty good walkthrough of how that all works. So again, you can make new mind maps. You can play around with the existing ones that we have in there. So those are templates that we give you for free, just to kind of look at and to give you like an idea of what's what. If you don't, if you make one and you don't like it, you just click the X right there and it'll get rid of that. And yeah, so that's the walkthrough of that right there. What I'll do right now, again, we're doing a quick update on this as well. So within about an hour or so, we'll have another quick update out, because it was just a minor bug that will be fixed. But in the meantime, though, I will give you guys the link, and then we'll take any questions and stuff. So I'm just going to pause my screen for a second as I go back and give you the link. All right, so the question you guys probably have is, how do you get it? Again, I said it's free, no catch at all. And to start the survey part, which was the first part that you saw, you go to getwebfire.com/free software, and it goes straight to the survey. You basically answer the questions. Then at the very end, you'll see that opt-in, where you can create an account to save the survey as well as get access to the mind map. And once you create the account, it will get you access to your saved info, as well as a link like you saw that says, like, click here to use the mind map software, and then you'll go to exactly where you just saw right there. So Sharon will post that in the chat box here as well, but it's, again, just getwebfire.com/free software to start the survey, and then at the end of the survey, you'll see the opt-in box to save to create an account to save the info and get access to the mind map then, which you just saw as well right there. So again, that's just getwebfire.com /free software. Then again, as I said, after you complete the survey, there will be an opt-in form at the top to make a free account to save that data and get access to the mind map part as well. Again, there's no fee, no charge. This is all entirely free. Just a special gift from us to you that we think is like really useful because again, we use it to kind of like play around with business models and stuff like that and see what the profit like can or can't be, and we can play around with the costs and all that too. And then you're basically all set, so you can have fun with that. And with that, guys, if there's any questions, feel free to ask those now, and I'll keep this link up here while you guys ask your questions. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask now, and I'll go through the questions. And again, yeah, I saw there was the minor bug that we saw where it was like the third OTO didn't change, but that again will be fixed within about an hour. So don't worry about that. All right, lots of questions here. So let me see. Lots of you are saying thanks. So again, appreciate that. All right. All right. All right, so there's a good question here that said, are the business models based upon anything in particular? Yeah, so there's the template models that we have up. Some are random examples, but it's all based upon similar numbers that we've done, not necessarily in the exact same product type. Like, you know, the Husky one is just an example, but we have similar products and similar OTOs in different niches with, you know, comparable conversion rates and numbers and stuff like that. So it's not like, you know, we have a number that says, you know, hey, you'll have a conversion rate of like, you know, 50% at $7, which just realistically isn't possible unless you have like an amazing source of traffic. But it's we have realistic numbers based upon all that right there. So, all right. So Carol asked, dear, can you explain why you think the back end is only $2? So that was just basically a conservative low number because we said, okay, in this case, if the buyer is a $7 buyer, they're not worth as much after day one as like a guy that might buy, you know, $100 or $1,000. So over the course of time, it's like, how much is that lead worth? Well, realistically, it's probably worth more than $2. You know, it might be worth several times more, but I didn't want to, you know, give like a number that was too high where it would seem like too far-fetched or anything like that. But I mean, on a good list, there's guys that say like leads are worth $1 a month. That's kind of like, it's, I don't like that as much because it's like leads can be worth a huge difference depending upon the niche that it's in. In some cases, it can be worth way less. In some cases, it can be worth way more. So you can play around with that as you see fit right there. All right. All right, so here's a good question right here. They said the probability of success here is based largely on what the conversion rate is. How does one assess what the value should be if they're new? So with that, two parts. One, if you have an existing business, you should hopefully know your numbers. If not, you should learn them because obviously if you know them, you can enter roughly what yours is and get an exact model right there. Now, if you're brand new, that's why we have the templates there to start with, because it gives you a reasonable expectation to shoot for. If you are lower, it means you probably don't have the best of offers, you don't have the best of OTOs, and you can work on that. If you're higher, that means you're doing an awesome job. So that's why we have the templates there to start with, so it can give you an idea. All right, Michelle asked here, if you are giving a product away for free but you charge for processing and handling, does this figure into the mind map as well? Well, yeah, because it's super easy. So if you give a product away for free but you charge $10 to ship, then you charge $10 on the front end. So it's not actually free, it'd be $10. So I mean, yeah, so you just say in that case, if you have a free plus shipping model, if the shipping's 10, you just add 10 right there. Or if you want to minus, like, let's say you just want to base it on the actual profit. Let's say, you charge 10, but it costs you 5. Then you can just type in 5 as your front end right there. And yeah, this is like, yeah, you're right. This is like a funnel analysis tool. All right. And yeah, so we do have two of the models we have are based on being an affiliate. Now there's sometimes less profit in being just an affiliate. Of course, there's less work too. But yeah, so we have those models there as well. Couple of guys asking, what again is the backend tab? That's just if you want to add a value to the leads. So if you say, hey, every lead is worth X amount over time after day 1, that's what the backend is. So if you have a free lead, like let's say the front end is free, the value of those leads are a lot less, like maybe $1 tops in most cases, tops. Now if it's a paid lead, like let's say they bought a $7 offer, those can range from a value of anywhere from like a couple bucks to $10 plus. But again, we have models in there to kind of give you an idea of what we think those can be worth right there. So, okay, question here. So the links I saw where you would want to work on an area, where does that lead to? Not sure what your question is, Easter, if you can clarify that a bit more, but you just go to the link that's on your screen right now, you answer the questions, then you'll see the results right there. But if you want the mind map or like the flow chart type then, or the upsell analysis, you just create the account right there, and it would give you all that info. And yes, this works for services as well as products as well as affiliate. And yes, guys, don't overthink this. There's a couple of guys asking, is this available here? Where's the link? The link is right on your screen right now. So again, go to that link, answer the questions, create the account, and you're set. Debbie, you said you had a question on schema. I don't. Maybe. Okay, let's see if I can find that question. I see you asking, can I get an answer to the schema on my site? I don't see your question on that, but you can feel free to retype it in or copy and paste, and I'd be happy to basically answer your schema question. All right. All right. Okay. Terry asked, how do you make a funnel? I actually showed that to you just live on how to do just that. Unless you mean how to actually make like an actual funnel based upon that, that's more of like, you'd create your sales page or your opt-in page, and you would go from there. So after they opt in, you would have the thank you page be your OTO, and so on and so forth. There's lots of easy ways to do that, but this software right here is focused mostly on, hey, here's how you create, the flow and the and all that right there. And yes, the models and templates that we have, we do have them filled out, so you can get like a rough idea of what we feel decent conversions and all that is. And the best way to use this is just kind of map out what you think your models are and play around with ones that we have, so you can kind of see what your profit maybe can or can't be. All right. Wendy asks here, can the currency be changed or does it show in dollars? Well, you can enter any value you want, and if you want to have it be in pounds, let's say, just pretend that it's in pounds. So basically enter in the dollar amount that you want and just pretend it's pounds, and it'll work the exact same way. So Andrew asked here, so does this also provide a way to get leads? Well, no, that's what you'd use like WebFire and stuff like that for, is to help drive leads and stuff there, or if you want to do paid ads and stuff like that. Philippe asked here, what is my favorite niche? I don't really have a favorite in particular, particular. There's a lot of them that I like different parts of. But I mean, like I'd say I like parts of the internet marketing niche because there's a lot of businesses that you can help, and there's a lot of sub niches in that niche as well. But I also like a lot of parts in in this survival niche. I like a lot of stuff in the wedding and diamond niche. So yeah, I mean, I like bits and pieces of all sorts of them. All right, and as far as there's a couple guys asking how do you use this to drive prospects to your page. This has nothing to do with driving prospects to your page. That's what the tools inside of WebFire are basically for. This is how to kind of map out and see if it's worthwhile to drive prospects to your page. Like if you have a page where, let's say your average conversions, and let's say you only have like one OTO and stuff like that, you can map out what you think will happen on your page, and then basically say, hey, what happens if I send 1,000 clicks here? And if you say, well, crap, I sent 1,000 clicks, that doesn't make much. That tells you ahead of time that there's potentially an issue, and you might want to fix that ahead of time before you do the work to drive the traffic, or if you're doing paid ads, before you pay a lot for all that. All right, this person asks here, what is the maximum amount of OTOs you'd use in a funnel? It really depends upon the niche and a lot of factors. My rule of thumb is like, probably not more than 3. But I think the ideal is to have in the 2 to 3 range. If you have 0, you're leaving lots of money on the table in the majority of cases. There's always exceptions to the rule there. If you have more than 3, it can sometimes get a little annoying and start to backfire on you, but there's always exceptions to that as well. And yes, the results can be saved. You just create the free account that you saw at the very end of the survey. It will prompt you to create an account, and it will save all that, including the survey. All right. All right, see here. All right, there's a person asking here, there's a couple guys asking again how they get traffic and stuff to it. Again, that's what you use the WebFire tools and stuff for. As far as like client prospecting and stuff like that, there's several tools inside of WebFire that actually do that for you right there, so definitely check out those. And yes, we have models of ones that are based on a $7 product and as well as a free product as well, so those are all in there. All right, this person asking here, how does this work for selling an affiliate product in the travel niche? The exact same way it works for selling an affiliate product in any niche. So there's 0 difference regardless of the niche that you are in. And we have 2 affiliate models in there as templates, so you can use those as like a base to basically start with. And then you can make your own based upon that right there. So if you have a front-end product, you can map out what your OTOs would be and all that, and you can create funnels even as an affiliate. Like you can have an opt-in page that goes to an affiliate offer, and you can have a second offer past that. Like that's all possible to do right there. All right. Yep. All right, and as far as there's a couple guys asking how they would use this for a service. Guys, don't overthink this. You can use this for selling a service, for selling a physical product, even for selling puppies. It works for literally anything and everything, so don't overthink this. For instance, if you were selling, let's say like a roof repair service, okay? You would then say, okay, well, let's say on the front end you sell or you give like a free estimate, okay? And so that's free, costs nothing. And let's say of the traffic that you get to your site or of the calls that you make or anything like that, let's say X per percent take you up on a free estimate, then you type in that. And then let's say, X percent then buy a roof from you, you type in that. And then as an upsell, let's say you have an upgrade for the type of shingles or weatherproofing or whatever you want, you type in that. If you have an upsell for, siding or whatever you want, you type in basically all that right there, and you can play around with the numbers and kind of see what's what. And you can see what happened, like, hey, what if I double the conversion rate from my estimates to sales? What if I improve my conversion rate of getting the free estimates to start with? What if I try to add some upsells on it? You can change any of that, and that's what makes this so great right here. All right. So, person asks, why do you have to go through the survey to reach the mapping tool? That's just because that's just the way that we basically made it, because we thought it was worthwhile to basically analyze a person's business to start with, then from there get them to create an account. Now, normally, we also use this to kind of grab like clients and stuff out there too, but we thought we would basically offer this for free to you guys to use or to have and make your own maps and flow charts and all that right there. All right, and a couple people are asking, can they give the software out? So you're welcome to give that link out if you want, but the only way, yeah, you're welcome to give that link out. That's fine. Of course, if someone buys like a back-end offer or all that, of course, you wouldn't. There's no back-end value in that for you. But if you're interested, Sharon, on people that are asking that, you can post a link to the stealth offer because we have a side offer where you can do kind of the exact same model almost, but you can kind of have your own offers in there and stuff like that. So Sharon can get that link posted up as well if you want to watch a replay of that. Okay. All right. So this person has an unrelated question on a schema. All right. So Debbie asks here, she has a site that sells imported horses. They're not a local site and not an e-commerce site as far as a schema is concerned. Should I use the company's schema or site names schema? If I use those, what schema do I use on the other pages that are not blog pages? Well, it depends how you set up your site. If like you have it where like, you know, the horse are, and I don't mean this in like, it sounds kind of like funny in a way, but I don't mean this in a bad way. If you have the horses set up a lot like a product, where like, you know, you have like, my daughter rides horses, but I'm not the best at, you know, the types of horses or whatnot, but let's say you have like, you know, 5 different kinds of horses. And let's say you have a separate page for each one you have for sale. You could set it up almost like an e-commerce site one, but in the majority of cases, if you're just a site that talks about, you know, some horses you have and stuff like that, I would just go for the site name one, just to keep it simple, essentially. Especially if you, so it sounds like you don't sell local. Now, if you sold local, obviously go for the local site one. But if most of your sales are nationwide or internationally, then you just go for like, you know, the site name one. That's fine. And you can use that on all of those pages as well, right there. So that would be fine. But one big thing that I would do related to SEO but not to the schema is if you have pictures of the horses. Like, again, I don't know your site offhand, so if, you know, if I saw it, I might know, or I might be able to say definitively, but like, let's say you had a certain breed of a horse that you have for sale, especially if it's like, you know, a rare one or, you know, one that fetches a higher price. On any picture that you have, that you upload to your site, make sure that they use basically the image alt tags on the actual images, and you target the keywords related to like the species or type of horse that is. So if someone does a search for like, you know, such and such horse for sale or some search like that, not only is there a good chance that your site would show up, but the picture of that horse would show up as well. So they'd be, you know, if they liked it, they'd be more likely to click through. And that's a pretty easy fix that you can do within WebFire as well right there. Okay. All right, and there's a couple guys that basically think that this might not be free. This is entirely free, guys. There is no catch. It's not a free trial. It is free, period. No catch, nothing, free. So there's a couple guys here that think I might charge a month later. No, this is entirely free, guys. So no catch at all. And yes, this is a great question that Nino asked here. If you have more than one website or business, would you start the survey again for each one? Yeah, I mean, each business one would probably need like a different survey. Same with mind map too. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Can you save model funnel A and build? Yeah, you can build multiple different funnel flowcharts or mind maps. That's all fine. And yeah, you can change them so it saves them. So if you want to change them or, you know, play with the results later, that's all fine. And yeah, you should be able to print it. Like if you just print the page, it should print those as well. We can look to see if there's possibly an easier way to make them printable, basically. All right. All right, for the question on the schema, for the site-wide one, do I use it on every page? Yes, you can use schema on every page in that case, and yes, every page that you have, you want to treat differently. That's not necessarily with like a schema, but with like the title tags and the keywords and all that. So if you have a page that's specifically on, again, I don't know like the species of horses, so let's say, you know, I'll just call it horse A. All right. So if you have, you know, horse A, you could have a title of like, you know, premium horse A, you know, for sale, or some title like that. You would know the term of the horse and all that, and you would target the page which is specifically about that breed or that type of horse right there, and you'd have the title and the descriptions and all that based around that. And then for the next page on the other horse, you do the exact same thing, but just for the second horse. All right, and again, guys, yes, we have another question on the currency. Again, you can pretend that it's in any currency you want. So if you want to enter the numbers as pounds or euros, you can do that right there. We just had basically a dollar sign to make it easier so people understood what the number was and didn't get that confused with like the conversion rate or anything like that. All right. And yeah, we can see what we can possibly do to make the mind maps more easily downloadable or printable. I know they're working on an update right now that should be out within an hour to just fix like one or two small bugs there. But then yeah, I'll ask them the same time on the PDF part and see. All right, the person says, is it used like where is this software used like a flowchart where you get a result from a process of actions taken? We did a demo of it prior, and basically the conversion numbers that you give are based upon the front-end conversions. So based upon the number of people that you know, either opt in for free or that buy your front-end product, the rest of the numbers you base upon that. Right there. Okay. I'm getting a lot of questions here, so I'm trying to go through as best I can here. Yep, a lot of people same question. And yeah, so this is a great point here. So you could actually use this as a tool to kind of like map out you know, a funnel for a possible client too. Like, you know, you could definitely use this as a tool to say, hey, this is what, you know, your funnel could look like. So if that's something that you want to do, you certainly could. And yeah, so right now, what we do for so this is actually a great question right here. So there's a question if they can have a reoccurring price point. So right now we have it. So if you have like, let's say an OTO where it's like a monthly fee, we have it so you basically enter the value of what you think that would be. So if you want to say that, you know, you want to charge $10 a month, but you think the average value, like each guy would stay maybe 2 or 3 months, then you would basically type in the total value for those 2 or 3 months. Reason why is if you say that you know you have an OTO where you charge $10 a month, well, at that point you have to also know how long the average guy would basically stay. And at that point it gets a lot more complicated for like a lot of people, or you get unrealistic numbers where you basically pretend like they stay for forever when they really wouldn't. So that's why we have that in right there. But it's something that we can think more about as a possible update too. All right, this person asked here for if they made a new offer, uh, do we recommend a new domain, subdomain, existing domain, or does it matter? It depends. If it's like a new product type not related to anything else you have, you'd almost always need a new domain just to look legit. If it's related to an existing offer you have, you certainly could use that same domain and just have a new directory. All right, and again, you just go to the link on the screen. And yes, you can use the flowchart or the mind map tool as we call it to use it for any business you want. So it does not have to be related to the one that you filled out the survey for. All right, and when you first go, when you first log in, yes, there is a video of the mind map, but if you scroll down, then you'll see it all. So we have the video there because it's a walkthrough to make sure you know how to basically use it, but if you scroll down, everything's right there, just like you saw on the demo that I did. All right. Okay, Mike asked, do you have a guess for conversions for offline marketing offers? It depends upon the business. I mean, if you sold $1,000,000 homes, your conversions would be a lot different than if you sold basically flowers offline. So that's why, like, I hate to say, your conversion rate of an offline product is this, because obviously if you're selling $1,000,000 homes, the conversion rate from flowers to, $1,000,000 homes would be way different. Yeah, so they're oftentimes not too far off from like the online side, and that is relevant mostly to like the price point of the products and such. So the higher the price point, the smaller it is, and also the more targeted offer you have, the higher the conversion rate is too. For instance, if you're like, let's say, I don't know, let's say you are an electrician, okay? Someone on your site that finds you clearly is probably looking to hire an electrician, so the conversion rate might in that case be higher than if it's like, a guy selling like a weight loss product or stuff like that, where someone might be just browsing around looking for info. But it totally depends. But if you look at the models that we have there, they're all ones that can give you like a basic idea of what price points are and what conversions we think are within reason. All right. So there's a couple questions right here on like with all the tools inside of WebFire and stuff like that. Should they just choose one or what? It's not about the tools, but pick like a strategy or method that appeals to you and try to go for that. But like, for instance, if you want to do like, let's say, just affiliate marketing, there's a handful of tools within WebFire that can specifically help a lot more with that. Whereas if you're more interested in selling, let's say, SEO as a service, there's a handful of tools that are specifically geared more towards that. So don't try to do like 100 things all at once where you do nothing. So try to maybe pick like one or two or three and stick with those until you get results with that. All right. And all right. All right, guys. Let's see. And yes, so this guy here in WebFire, does the website analysis allow you to brand the report to yourself? Yes, that's an option in there, and it's mentioned on the website analysis as well. So that's there. And yes, there's a question if we'll have a call next week because of Christmas. Yes, every Wednesday we'll have a call. That's a few days after Christmas here, so yeah, we'll definitely have that. Yeah, I don't think we plan on ever canceling one. I mean, possibly if it was on Christmas Day, if it was a Wednesday, we might possibly skip that, but no. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. So yes, next week is on at 2 p.m. as well. All right. All right, guys. And with that, what we'll do, we'll give out the cash now. And again, I think I answered all the questions. If by chance I missed one, I apologize. There's a lot of questions and a lot that are related. Just write support, an email at support@webfire.com. They'd be happy to help. But what we'll do right now is we'll do the cash giveaway here. All right. So again, if we missed any questions, again, feel free to write support@webfire.com. But on that note too, if you join our Facebook group page right here, I know most of you are members right now of it, it's free. Go to getwebfire.com/FB group. And if you leave a comment under Sharon's recent post, make sure it's within her post. It makes it much, much easier. Where she basically asks what you thought of the training. Just leave a quick comment right there, whatever you want, and we'll give out some cash here. So we'll give out $100 to a random guy, and we'll give you a few minutes or so to go to that link right there and post up a comment, and we'll give some cash then. All right. All right, there's a question here on the schema. Okay, so there's a question here that says, any guide on how to price selling schema? So we actually have training where we actually talk about that, so make sure to watch that. But I would shoot for, if you're trying to sell a schema to a place, I would honestly shoot for like a minimum of about $1,000, just because it's a huge value to the actual prospect. It's not a ton of work on your part, but it's a huge value to them, and $1,000 makes it like very worthwhile for you, and it's not too insanely high for the client either. So that's what I would shoot for. Of course, you can sell it for less or more. That's completely up to you as well. All right. Kelly, I don't know what you said. You said I'm talking over the guest. There's no other person talking on the line except me right now. So it's possible that maybe you have a video on in the background or something. Because it's just me talking. And yeah, okay, yes. As far as the schema goes, that would be the price that I would charge just for essentially the schema. If they're looking to basically optimize the whole site, you could charge more. I mean, I'd say depending on the type of business, even a few grand to fix up an entire site is all within reason. Or even like a grand a month, to do ongoing SEO, where maybe you throw in the schema for free, then would be a good incentive as well, right there. All right, yeah, there's another guy that said, yep, she's on another video, and he accidentally had one playing in the background too. So all right. All right. So with that, guys, I am going to do the cash giveaway right now. I'm just going to pause the screen as I go to the Facebook page. All right. All right, let me just pull up just pause the screen as I pull it up right here. All right. So here is, again, the Facebook page right here. It's just getwebfire.com/FB group. I'll give you guys another maybe 10 seconds to do a post. So here's Sharon's post right here. Just do a comment under right here. There's 63 of you so far there. There's a couple comments under here too, but I'll count those as well. But in the future, try to have them basically under here to make it a bit easier to count. But all right, we'll give 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, half, quarter, 0. All right, so I'll just refresh it real quick. All right, so we have 69 right here. Oh, 70, one just sneaked in right there. All right, 70 right there. And all right, plus I'll add the other ones. I would say there's another person typing, so I might have 71 right there. We'll let that in. All right. So plus we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll count those guys. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, we'll count the 13 there plus, how many do we have in the main one? So we have 83 in total, and Sharon even had a poster in there too, so we'll count that. 83. All right. So 83, generate random number, 2. All right, technically number 2 is Sharon. That is funny. Sharon, I think, should we let a random person have a chance to win? Sharon technically is the winner. All right. Well, to make it see, what's that, Sharon?
Just pick 17. Whoever that is. Just pulled it out of the air.
All right. So Sharon said instead she'll go for 17. So Sharon, that is funny. Yeah, so Sharon, our helper here, was actually the winner by random chance there. As you saw me do it live right there, so you know that wasn't fake. She said she'll pick 17 as a random number, so she is re-gifting her cash prize to someone else, and she picked 17. So all right, let's count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 is Earl James Blackburn. So if that is you, you are $100 richer. Thanks to Sharon this time, because she re-gifted to you. Yeah, so that's we've never actually had that happen. That's kind of funny. We got close once. Sean actually had a comment once, and he was only like 2 or 3 away from the actual winner. But Earl James Blackburn, if that is you, you are $100 richer. Just make sure that you mention your PayPal email in the chat, and Sharon will get that paid out to you today. Yeah, so great stuff right there, guys. And with that, again, guys, let's see if there's any last-minute questions. All right, so, all right, I think we've got all the questions here, but in case I missed anything, just write support@webfire.com, and they'll be sure to sort that all out for you. And of course, on a future call, we'll have lots of more Q&A time. This is more of just, this call is mostly all on the free software because I want to give you guys like basically an overview of that and let you guys jump on that. And again, we have a small update popping out with that should be out within probably like an hour or less or so as well. But any questions, feel free to write us. And again, I want to thank you guys for being on this call. I want to thank all of you for participating on the Facebook group here as well. And I want to wish all of you guys Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy whatever I'm leaving out. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and we look forward to seeing you next week, again, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So again, thanks much, guys. Make sure to bring your questions next week as well. And I want to wish all of you, again, happy holidays. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.